Hello, everybody. Happy holidays. We wanted to share something fun that became a ritual for us at SKG, and that is closing your year in a more intentional way and also opening your year or walking into your 2021 with more intention, more meaning, more magic. So we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions, which are kind of a habit in a way, right? Because we're always talking about what do I want more of and what do I want to let go of? So I'm either letting go of something that no longer serves me, or I'm adding something that I want to experience more in my life. But before you close 2020, I highly encourage you to really reflect on what happened in your life in 2020 before you step into January of 2021. So what have you learned? What experiences are you grateful for? What people are you grateful for? And of course, what will you remember this year for, minus COVID? This is really important step. I actually call this cleaning out the closet because I like to look at old photos and see what happened and when, but making a list of all the things, all the beautiful things that you're grateful for is actually one of the best ways to close your year. And also making a list of things that you want to let go of. So think about this. You're growing and expanding. You're not the same person you were last year. There's no way, right? You're not a tree. You're not stationary. You're always going somewhere. So you're not the same person in so many ways. So there are things that have changed. Therefore, there are also things that no longer serve you. So whether it's overthinking or overeating or worrying too much or being too anxious, whatever it may be, what are some of the physical, mental, emotional habits that you want to let go of and release because you are on the path to somewhere and this doesn't serve that path or that outcome or that vision? So this is a super cool ritual to do to finish up your year in December. So this is the cleaning out your closet, right? You're getting rid of all the stuff that doesn't fit. And the reason for it is to make space for something new, something fresh, something bigger, something better, right? We all need it. So think about this also when you're setting goals and intentions, which we're going to talk about in a minute, is most of the time, those goals are, let's say if you're in a sales role, you do this every month. And the only other area where we do this consistently, most people, is weight loss, right? I want to lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds. I want to exercise 3 times a week, 4 times a week. But what about friendships? What about wellness? What about mindset? What about your passions and hobbies, right? What about all these other things that make life beautiful and magical and more full? So these areas also need goals. They can't be neglected. Otherwise, you're just going to replicate what you had last year and it's going to continue. So, and that's what creates problems, right? That's what takes away the balance. So think about your brain as an iPhone. The iPhone needs to be updated frequently in order to work fast and efficiently. And it's the exact same thing with your brain. This needs an update. We should be thinking better thoughts. We should have better feelings. We should act better. We should be better human beings in general from year to year to year. So stepping into 2021, this has got to get an upgrade, right? And the upgrade needs to continue. We need to expand. That's what actually makes us happy. So now let's talk about defining your objectives or intentions. So whether you call it objectives or you call it intentions, and by the way, guys, I wish my camera was on the right-hand side, but I don't know how to change it, so you're just going to stick with me. But defining your objectives and intentions for 2021. So think about this. This is where everything starts. So my thoughts produce my actions, and then my actions produce my results. So if I have the same thoughts that I'm thinking, I'm going to have the same actions. Therefore, I'm going to have the same results. So what this talk is about is I need better thoughts in order to produce better results in 2021. I need to think better. I need to think bigger. I need to think in a more empowered way. I also have to feel bigger and better about me, about other people, about the world, about where I'm going, about my vision, which we're going to talk about in a minute. It is so important. Otherwise, literally, if we think the same thoughts, we're replicating the same experiences. It could be new people, it could be a little different, but it's the feeling is the same. It continues. So 2021 is going to look a lot like 2020 minus COVID. Super, super important. Okay, so this is the first big chunk of this wellness talk. Your mind is cybernetic, which simply means you have a built-in goal-seeking mechanism. So your brain is constantly looking for a target. Give me a target, give me a target, tell me where to go. Just tell me where to go. That's your mind. It wants to know where you want it to go. So think about a plane flying from Austin to London. Before anything happens, before the plane takes off, the pilot puts in coordinates. The coordinates are specific, they're accurate, and this is the only target. This is where I'm going, right? He doesn't sit and wonder, I hope I get to London. I hope everything goes well. There's no such thing. The target is here, this is where I'm going. And this is exactly how your brain works. It really needs to know, where do you want me to go? Just give me a target. But here's the trick. If you don't give it a new target, meaning if you don't pull for it from your imagination, if you don't pull from the future, it is going to find a target on its own. And guess where that target is going to be? Target is going to be in the past, because this is a library of experiences. I've done this and I've met these people. I've had these experiences. I had these feelings. This is where your brain is going to pull from. It's going to pull from the past, which means, again, we're going to replicate the experiences. We're going to feel very similar. We're going to think the same thoughts, right? So when your mind is asking for a target, we actually want to pull from the future. We want to use the imagination part of our brains to visualize something better in every single way. We don't do this enough. We do not do this enough, you guys. Who does it very well? Children. Kids know how to do this because they don't have limitations. Everything is exciting. Everything is possible. They're limitless. They don't know such thing that I can't, I'm not able to, or I'm not willing to. They think anything is possible, right? But your mind is cybernetic. It needs a target, and that's what we're going to talk about. Okay, so because your mind is cybernetic, vision boards, vision writing outcomes, intentions is magic. So whether you are doing this already, that's fantastic. Lots of credit to you. If you're not doing it, you should be doing this, because this is the best way to close your year and step into 2021, giving your mind targets in every area of your life. So think about, and this is the trick too. If you think about vision boards, it's usually photos, it's quotes, it's phrases, right? It's things that we want to see in the future, things that we want to experience, the things that we're longing for, the things we want to create, the things we want to live through or experience. But also what does belong on a vision board is, let's say you had a beautiful vacation in Italy, you have this photo on your nightstand or your fireplace, and every time you look at that photo, you feel all this gratitude and joy, and all the good feelings get triggered, and suddenly your state completely changes and you're happy. That belongs on the vision board, because if that can bring all the emotions of creativity and being connected and feeling loved or supported or feeling a part of the world, let's say, or the excitement of travel, it belongs on the vision board, because that fuels the creation process, that fuels the visioning process. It's so, so important. So think about, if you look at every area of your life, and the more the merrier, by the way. So whether you do it where you do a physical vision board, so you cut out photos, or you do it in a digital format, which I do it this way because I like to have more space. Think about all the areas of your life. So relationships, mindset and wellness, your career, your fitness, your passions, whether you have a side gig, whether you have some hobby, whether you're contributing and volunteering, highly recommended to include it on your vision boards. Think about all of these areas of your life the more the merrier. And what is it that you want to create? What else do you want to experience? What else do you want to bring into your life so that your life is fuller and feels more magical and more meaningful and more dynamic? That's what vision boards are all about. But you basically are giving your mind a target. This is where I'm going. I am not going back to what I've already done or experienced. I'm going somewhere new, which takes a lot more energy, by the way. So this is a really, really important one. Okay, magic behind vision boards. So think about this. Most people, when they write visions, intentions, or build their vision boards, think about the idea of having. I want to have a car, I want to have a house, I want to have this amazing relationship, I want to have more money, I want to have a better job. But what actually needs to happen is the beginning stage is being. Your being is more important than anything. So who do I need to be, or who do I want to be in order to do what I want to do and have what I want to have? This is super important. This is so important that if you, let's say, do arrive at that level of having what you want to have, you have that car and that house and that job and the perfect relationship. If being doesn't go hand in hand in parallel to this, sometimes we feel like we have an imposter syndrome. Sometimes we feel, where the hell did this come from? Maybe I don't deserve it. Maybe I'm insecure about it, right? But if the being is where everything starts, it's the foundation for the creative process. It's the foundation of visioning process. So when I'm moving forward, I know who I am. I know where it came from because I started with the aspect of being. So when these three things go hand in hand, anything is possible. But think about this. If you are, let's say, a new salesperson at a company, but your goal is to be in the top 3 salespeople, and you know that there's work to be done. It's not just the sales goals and the hard work and the organizational logistical things. I need to become something in order to be in that top 3, right? So whether it's my drive, whether it's my creativity, whether it's my relationship building, whether it's my influence, my persuasion, whether it's my communication, they all have to go to the next level. They got to go up. Not only do they have to go up once, they actually have to keep going up. I need to be better at a lot of things in order to do and have what I want to do and I want to have. I want to become something first. I need to become something first. So me as the beginning salesperson in the company is not going to be the same at being as the top 3. That's what I want you to think about. So if you have a tough time figuring out, well, what are these qualities? What are these traits? Google, literally Google, look at a list of traits. Who do you want to become? And also what helps us do this is look at other people that inspire you, where you look at someone, you're like, wow, they're so good at this. Borrow that quality. So start from being, then move on to doing and having. Okay, this is the second big chunk of this talk. It's the power of imagination. So think about this. Your mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined. So if I close my eyes and visualize doing something, for the brain, it's the same thing as actually doing it. So they did this incredible experiment where there were 3 groups of basketball players. So the first group actually did practice physical throws, like the free throws. They practiced it physically over a period of a couple of months. The second group did not do anything. And then the third group actually visualized only. So they literally sat in the chair, closed their eyes, and visualized free throws. And what came out of this experiment is the group that physically practiced, so muscle memory, are the group that had, let's say, 32% of improvement. The group that didn't do anything, obviously 0 improvement. But the group that only visualized, so it's just you and your imagination, that group, guess what, had 1% more improvement than the previous group. So 33 instead of 32. Why is that? Why is a group that's only visualizing, there's no muscle memory involved, there's no actual physical action, why did they do better than the group that practiced? And the answer is in your mind, in your imagination, you never miss. You never miss. So you only do it perfectly. And now think about this. If that's the case, what if I do the physical and mental rehearsal together? How powerful would that be? That person would be limitless, but we don't do this enough. We don't use the imagination muscle enough to our advantage, but it's sitting there, it's available. So I really want this to sink in, because this is probably one of the most important things ever. And again, going back to kids, you have a kid on this picture, because kids do not have limitations. They don't know that they can't go to the moon one day. They don't know that imaginary friends don't exist. They don't even care that you don't believe them, right? They're limitless. They don't have the same, they don't know that they can't. They think everything is possible. So, and the mind doesn't really know your imagination is so powerful. Your mind doesn't know the difference, that you're only visualizing. So even when you exercise, and let's say you skip exercise because you're super tired and you had such a stressful day, visualize for 5 minutes of exactly what you'll be doing, the same routine, just so the mind thinks that the routine continues. That's how powerful your imagination is. Okay, last slide, guys. If you don't know where you're going, you will end up someplace else. So this quote, you know this quote, it's funny and it's not, right? But you need to give your mind a target, like we said. Now think about this. Your mind can be in 3 different places at any given moment. So even now, you can be here, right now, listening to Aga talk about New Year's resolutions and visioning. But this is a very hard place for us to be. So present, past, and future. Present is hard because we live in a Western world and we want to get things done. We want to check things off the list because we feel successful and accomplished, and we feel like we're going somewhere and getting somewhere when we do this, right? We like the sense of accomplishment. So being in the present moment, it's really, really hard. Now, most people live in the past, right? Because there is, again, a library of experiences between my 2 ears. It's familiar. I've been there before. I know exactly how it feels. I know exactly how it should look like. So I might be, pulling from the past experiences. And now future is the third place where I can be. Future is where all the imagination lives. Future is where visioning, vision boards, vision writing, outcomes, intentions, that's where it is in the future. And now you know this. It takes way more energy to create something new than to replicate something old. That's why it takes hard work. That's why it takes effort, because it's not easy for us. We're creating something that doesn't exist yet, right? Versus pulling from something we've already been through, which, by the way, not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally, feeling the same things, thinking the same thoughts. So again, we need to give our mind a target. That target lives in the future, and that target uses imagination to create it. That's how powerful it is. Happy visioning, everybody.